Hey Gemini. Alright, so it's not been like all that easy, right? The beginning of Gemini season. Things are going well, and then all of a sudden you're having to give things up. What's going on? How does this work? This is very confusing. That's okay. We're moving again now. We have a lot to do before October, and we're moving again. We're good. We're all right. Mercury's going to move twice. We're going to go through 2 major moves, emotionally, financially. And anxiety, I feel it. I feel it. The fear of the change, the whole thing, I feel it. It's okay. That Mars energy is going to give you the power, the resolve you need to put your foot down and have that Aries energy of no. I already said no. I already decided. No means no. That almost kind of heartless archetype, right? Heartless female archetype or male. That other twin. Now it's really time for that other twin, the one that's generally associated with, you know, coming out when you need protection or when someone's crossed the line. That twin now can get to work in a very productive way instead of a destructive way and take charge of the situation and run things. In terms of work, you know, set some clear boundaries with people who are being energy vampires. In terms of love, set some clear boundaries about what you deserve and what you're not going to tolerate. Just a good time to use that energy because it's not necessarily normal for us or doesn't necessarily come natural to us to have all sorts of boundaries and to really define our boundaries. You know, we are the ones that, we're the eternal children of the zodiac. We're the ones that are meant to push the boundaries to see just how far they can go. That's why we're the sign of the intellect. You know, because the intellectual is the one who's willing to look past the surface of something and push things wherever they can be and provoke things where they can be provoked and pushed to see what happens, to see what comes up. All right. And what kind of... let me see what these cards are before we continue. The Hierophant. Page of Swords. Okay, good. The Chariot. Yep, that's everything moving into Cancer later. 7 of Swords. King of Swords. Justice. Okay. Alright, let me show you what's going on. I'll keep shuffling for some outcome cards. And then we'll talk more about the Cardinal Cross and everything that's going on. Okay? 1 second. Here we go. All right. So, as you can see, Hierophant, Page of Swords, the Chariot, 3 major arcana, 7 of Swords, King of Swords, Justice. All right, so let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. Swords, 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 swords. And the other 2 guys who aren't holding swords are both holding scepters. Okay, so that's a lot of phallic symbology right there. And you know, Mars is a very male sign. And it's this end of the month, this end of May and into the beginning of June that Mars is going to, you know, Mars is going to move on the 5th. So right until it moves, it's really kind of like aggressive, you know? It wants to like really get you all the way jump started before it goes. And you'll need that because you've got some pretty, let's say there's a lot of due diligence that needs to be done in terms of work and in terms of the sort of seeds you want to plant for your future financial situation. Right? This is always great, you know, showing up as the youthful, carefree, you know, what a great confirmation still in your birthday season of you guys being on point. You guys are still, you know, being who you're supposed to be. Now, as we move into Cancer, and this is a card that's generally associated with Cancer, as we move into Cancer, there is this anxiety. As Mars moves into Cancer, there is this sense of wanting to move, but which way am I going? You know, the Gemini sign, that the Roman numeral 2, it looks like a doorway, right? But what Gemini needs to remember is that Gemini is the door and the adventurer walking through the door. And so when Gemini starts to feel this anxiety of, oh, which way do I go? Listen, the door you always need to walk through is the one within yourself. Don't worry about which way you need to go. The reason you don't know which way to go is because you're not looking internally first. If you were in touch with what was going on inside, you wouldn't have the which way do I go problem. Okay? This is why Cancerians can suffer from this problem. This is why this is a card associated with them. Well, I don't know what direction to go in. Right, because you're so internalized that your logic becomes circular, and then you don't know which way to go. You just end up walking sideways, but in a circle. You know, if you were paddling with one hand and you just go round and round. And that's not an energy that we want to get into, especially not in terms of finances, not in terms of love. You know, we are the ones that need to take this energy, and instead of going in a circle over and over again, be that door and be the thing that pushes through the door and reaches that greater understanding. And what's that greater understanding going to be about this month? It's the understanding of understandings. What's set up for some Gemini who are ready for it. You know, the cycle, that point in the cycle has come back around, that anyone who hitched that train or was prepared and had the right, you know, documentation to be on that train energetically, they're pulling into the station now. For some of us Gemini, transcendence is at hand, and that's a very beautiful thing. And some of us are just starting on our journey, and that's also a very beautiful thing. If we weren't able to treat both these people the same, we wouldn't be who we are, you know? And then we come to more dualities. Let's get the obvious stuff out of the way, though. If you are dealing with a Cancer, if you're dealing with another air sign, if you're dealing with a Libra, if you're dealing with an air sign who's gone from being pretty easy going to unmanageable and untenable, this is speaking to you in a way that you may not like. You know, the Seven of Swords being the card of deceit showing up here, and then the Justice card showing up here, this is a time for some of us where our direction will be chosen for us. And what I mean by that is that we will be, I'm sorry, I have ink on my hands. We will be directed towards our truth. We will have to answer for the things that we've said that may not have been necessarily the whole truth, right? We will have to answer for things that we may have done that weren't necessarily on the up and up. At the same time, this applies to a few of the people, you know, showing up here. People who wasted your time, people who took advantage of your feelings, people who treated you callously. You know, those people are getting their karmic retribution right now. A lot, not only, you know, if it's you who's erred on this side, then it's you getting your karmic retribution, and it's a pretty harsh teacher. But if this is other people who have done this to you, then they're also, you know, they're now feeling the effects of that karma as well. And I find that when the Justice card comes up, it's because that is coming pretty swiftly. You know, this is not someone who is necessarily wasting or wanting to waste time, you know? Oh, that's so annoying. I'm so sorry about that. I'm just gonna turn this off because I don't know how to turn it off on my phone. All right. So this is not somebody, and this is not an energy that wastes time in enacting, it's not its retribution, but its judgment. This is an energy of things being decided, weighed out, thought out, measured and decided, and then that is acted out. That sentence is enacted. It's not just about saying it. It's not just about thinking about it. It's about taking it to the next step of doing it. And considering that we have a Cardinal Cross coming up, I also find it interesting that the card associated with Cancer, which is a cardinal sign, and the card associated with Libra, which is also a cardinal sign, is coming up here. We are in a time where we have some very powerful energies working for us, and we can be as creative as we possibly can be, and it will bring us fortune. And we can be as rational and as fair as we can be with our family, with our friends, with ourselves, and that will also bring us fortune and good luck and peace of mind. And we can also see those places within ourselves where we may not necessarily be contributing, but taking, and we can fix that flow. We can fix that dynamic so money can flow more easily to us, because maybe there are certain aspects of our lives where we are taking, and we can see that now. This is a month of really seeing ourselves and not hating what we see, rather liking what we see, but also having that extra push to be the adventurer that walks through the door, instead of just standing there looking at the door and saying, oh wow, look at this great door that leads to new understanding. And then also being the door and going, oh cool, I'm this door that leads to great understanding. But bringing those two things together, working, those two twins working as one. These guys working as one to pull this chariot in the right direction. And what's that right direction for you? Yo, seriously, Gemini, this month you gotta do what you want. And what I mean by that is, like, if anything that you're thinking and feeling is because of another person, or because of what they're doing or not doing, or what you thought they were gonna do, just forget it. This month is about you. It's about you doing what you want for you, not in relation to anyone else or anything else. Because if you use this energy that way, you will be very, very fruitful, but in a calm, positive, rational way that you can see actual gains in money, gains in respect, gains in things that you can quantify and say, okay, I'm feeling better, I'm doing better, just, right? And if you have people in your life right now that are being super moody, or being super harsh, or being super rigid, this is the time to, Mercury is going to make it really easy after the 7th for you to say whatever you want and have it make sense and get it across to people the right way. So I suggest having some conversations with these people and just being like, listen, like, this is a little much. Like, you're trying to control me. You're trying to control me with your moods. You're trying to control me with your rules. You're trying to control me with your harshness. Your come and go back and forth. I mean, Libras can be such game players that way, right? So when you feel these things, after the 7th, you can say them and they won't come across wrong, and you'll probably feel like you've pushed your own boundaries a little, so you have a little more room in your life, because this also gives me this sense of like you being closed in, and it makes sense because you're popping, so people are trying, the sharks start circling, but you need to do right now what you need to do. You need to focus on money. You need to focus on your spiritual development. You need to focus on, not letting someone back into your life that is not good for you. Or if it was you in that situation, in whatever past situation, if it was you, realizing this in yourself and making some sort of agreement with yourself that you're not going to be like this and that you're not going to indulge this behavior, so that past love can come back in, But until the universe gets some clear message from you that it's not going to be the same as it was last time, it's not going to happen. And I think that starts with taking a very honest look and saying, okay, yes, there are times when I can indulge in this. And that's the nature of being dual, you know? There's a lot of duality here. That's the nature of being dual. Two, right? Two guys, two sphinxes. The scales are dual by nature, right? It's okay to have this in you as long as you understand it and aren't a victim of it and don't therefore victimize other people with it. You know, deceit is just another form of creativity. It's just a destructive form. You can be creative instead of being deceitful. You just have to pick a direction that you want this energy to go in. And that's what all the swords and scepters are about too. What are wands about? Wands are about directing energy. What's a sword about? A sword is also about directing energy. A very violent kind of energy, but still. What's this guy doing? Hoarding thoughts, hoarding energy, taking other people's stuff. It can be interpreted so many ways, right? But they all apply here. We need to get out of our feelings and out of our mind. I was going to say out of our minds, but our minds are our feelings for us. So we need to get out of our feelings and stop doing this and stop holding on to stuff so we can actually move forward and get stuff done and be where we want to be. Because this thing that you're carrying around, it's for nothing. This is not the way. Not for you, not if the other person is like this, not whatever you're trying to bring into this new month with you. You need to put all this down because you're not going to move unless you do. Directed energy, you know. Now is the time. Focus. Put this intention somewhere into something. Something fair, something real, something rational. You know? You can use, when I say you can use, you know, that other twin, what I mean is usually we say like, you know, one twin is really emotional and the other one is not emotional and the other one is just, you know, a boss and can deal with situations. And right now I feel like the emotional twin has really had like a bit of a, you know, go with like the, you know, getting rolled around a little and like getting rolled in a wave. And so I think it's okay, instead of like the more aggressive twin coming out and being aggressive, I think it's okay for the aggressive twin to come out and be aggressive in terms of creativity and making money instead of being aggressive towards people. You know, that energy can be used in a productive way. And so I think as long as we get out of our feelings and channel that productive energy, which is what the spread is all about, is asking you to channel, right? I realized I didn't shuffle for an outcome card, and I was just thinking channel all this energy, but where are we channeling it? Yeah, do what you want, but what's the direction? All right, hey, do what you want. Do what you want. The direction is do what you want. It's Cardinal Cross, baby. Do what you want. Bottom of the deck, make it happen. The Fool is the 0 card, the first step in the journey. And this is the one where you start to make stuff happen. Do what you want and make it happen. What a great outcome card, right? It's okay. Put that twin to work. Don't let her pop off. Don't let him pop off. Just put them to work. You know, now it's a time to make money and get things the way you want them. Right? So when people start coming back around and people start being like, oh, this and that, I like you, I love you, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. You can be like, okay, that's cool, but like, I'm really about my bag right now. You're going to have to, like, I had to take a backseat before, you're going to have to take a backseat right now. You know, and that's okay. And that's okay. This is a time for us to do the self-care and the self-love, but in terms of cardinal behavior. Okay, not just like I love myself and I'm, you know, like Kanye level. That's cool, but this is about like do the work, like stay on tour. You know what I'm saying? Do the work. we're going to do the cardinal things. We're going to create. We're going to make money. We're going to say what we want. We're going to do what we want. That is the energy. Okay? Thank you so much, all my Geminis, for my birthday wishes. Honestly, it's been the best birthday. Like, you guys rock. So, technical stuff. I am still doing readings over the phone and over Skype and video readings, but I'm going to change the format soon and maybe just do recorded readings because the scheduling has been a bit difficult. But we'll see. For now, I am doing the one-on-one still, but that may change pretty quick. Also, I will be in San Francisco for the first 3 weeks of October, and the tickets are available online now, so I'll leave that link below. And I'll be doing readings in New York all of August and September. So if you would like a slot for those time periods, let me know. And also, if you were interested in doing a meet and greet, let me know if you have a place that you go to or that you would like to have it held, and we can talk about it. All right. Also, Cynthia, after last month's Gemini reading, was like, you need some protection. Like, it's pretty obvious that something's going on. And, like, you've got a lot of, like, negative energy being directed at you. So she sent me this as a protection mala, and I just got it today. I just went and picked it up before I started making the videos. And the minute I put it on, I felt better. And she sent me these bracelets as well. She also did an energetic healing for me and then, like, told me about it. Like, told me about what she saw when she did, and it just, like, blew my mind. And, like, I didn't even know when exactly she was doing it, but I could feel it while it was going on. And then when I read through the transcript that she sent me, I was, like, sobbing. It was incredible. So this is just, I feel like the second part of that healing. I just have nothing but good things to say about her work and how she works and what she puts into it, because I, for one, really needed this, you know. So I'm really grateful. And I will leave her information below as well if you would like to contact her. All right, Gemini. I love you guys. Happy birthday. I will see you next month.